It is quite funny about that longest road yesterday in Australia, or the longest straight stretch of road, I should say, in Australia. There's some bloody long stretches of road here that are just straight. I reckon I'm going to see the second longest, the third, the fourth, and the fifth longest stretch of road, straight stretch of road in Australia as I head across this Nullabor. It's all straight. In the morning. So today I will hit the, just let me get into gear here. Today I will hit the Nullabor, and I'll be pushing through to Streaky Bay, and the reason why I'm confident about that is because I've got accommodation there with some good friends of mine, and glorious morning. Have a look at this. Streaky Bay is. I think it's about 800 kilometres from Ceduna to Streaky Bay, give or take. So leaving at 6:30 in the morning gives me plenty of time to get there before it gets too dark. She's a bit cold. I don't know if you can see the... Look at my fingers. There's no blood. It's just the right hand. The left hand's fine. Your left hand's fine. Can you see the difference? Time for some winter gloves. This ridge here, ridge or range or whatever you want to call it, it just goes forever. It's on the left-hand side of the road here, and since I've left Mandurah, you just followed all the way along. That would be 100 k's ago. I've seen one kangaroo so far. It wasn't a wallaby, it was definitely a kangaroo. Geez, they move fast, those roos, when they hop. Righto, winter gloves. I can't even hold them. It's not that cold. It's just the fingers are sore. I think the cold's getting to my brain because I forgot to put my helmet on. Going well. You're going real well. So filling up at the Nullabor Roadhouse. It's pretty quiet here, there's not much happening. How's this fella here? See over there in the distance? That's Daryl, he's from Perth, he's on his pushy. He's on his push bike. And have a listen to this story. Hang on. So Daryl's riding his push bike from Perth to Brisbane. How good's that? Here he is here. Hang on, hang on. The state border is 80 kilometres away. But I know I keep going on about it, this can-do attitude with Western Australians. Daryl back there, we just got chatting. So he left Perth a couple of weeks ago and he's on his way to Brisbane. And I said, how much time are you going to give yourself? He goes, no, I'll get there, mid-October. I just said, what's the story? He goes, oh yeah, give myself a few months. I'll get to Brisbane. And, he's going over to Port Augusta, and then he'll head sort of diagonally to, Broken Hill, Cobar, Burke, that area, and keep heading up that way diagonally. What a legend, good on you, Daryl. But what I love is, I just said, what's this all about, mate? He goes, oh yeah. Give myself a couple of months, give myself a few months, get to Brisbane, then the missus will fly over and we'll have a couple of weeks holiday and then fly home. How good's that? That's the can-do attitude that I keep talking about with Western Australians. His response when I said I was going to Streaky Bay was priceless. He sort of looked off and thought, oh, that's days away. Good on you, Daryl. Another Western Australian, good fella. Oh, and how's this? I think it's on the camera. I think it's on the camera from yesterday. I went past another fella that's on a push bike, and he's got a support vehicle with him. And Daryl said he's 84 years old, and he's also riding from Perth. I said, where's he going? He said he's going to Canberra to have a whinge. That's bloody fantastic. 84 years old, jumping on a push bike to go and tell Canberra what it's all about. So for those of you overseas, Canberra is our country's capital, and that's where the government is. So the 84-year-old fella, he's taking matters into his own hands. He's riding his push bike from Perth to Canberra to give him a serve. Wait, Western Australia, how good is it? Australia I've always wanted to see when we get to the Great Australian Bight. So I'm at a random Roadhouse, and here it is here with a big kangaroo. But it's just important to get a point of reference because it helps you sort of map out your fuel stops and things like that. So I've got a good point of reference here. It's probably one of the best ones I've seen. So I'm just shy of 16,000 kilometres from Moscow. So also I forgot to mention there's a golf course across the Nullabor. So this is a par 3. I don't know what hole number this is. I've seen a few of them along the way. So you can play golf across the Nullabor. I'll just sort of walk down the fairway a little bit. You can see the hole all the way down here, and there's the green. So how is that? You can play 18 holes across the Nullabor, because God knows I'm not going to kick 100 goals anytime soon. So maybe I should kick 18 holes. Yeah, I was just talking to a fella from Bundaberg, and he said to me, Bundaberg up in Queensland, he said to me, mate, where are you going to today? I said, mate, I'm going to Streaky Bay. Oh, geez, mate, you've got to get to Ceduna first. I said, well, where's Ceduna? How far is that? He said 340 k's at least from here. 340 k's. Mate, I said, this thing will do it in 240 k's. We are Approaching the Nullabor, the famous stretch of road in Australia which takes you to the Great Australian Bight. I've heard there's some whale watching up here as well, so I'm going to check that out. They reckon yesterday there were a whole bunch of whales out there, and how's the bloody flies? Water! We found water! Here we go! So there's a lookout here, and they reckon there's whales. So let's see how we go. Oh, we've got water. Right, a bit of whale spotting here hopefully, so we'll see how we go. It's great to see some water, and I reckon this is just the start of it. So this isn't the Bight. Oh well, yeah, sorry, it is part of the Bight, I should say, but it's not the famous cliffs. It's not the famous Bunda cliffs. They're going to be further up. Have a look at the coastline. Once again, it's hard to capture this sort of stuff on a GoPro. It's so hard. But I'm standing here on a cliff face, and there's more impressive cliffs to come. But let's try and capture this coastline. It's beautiful. So when you look at the map of Australia and you've got that bottom end of Australia, that big chunk, that big Bight, this is the start of it here. Imagine having a house just perched up on a cliff here, isolated from the world. No one can touch you. Everyone leaves you alone. How good would that be? Not a care in the world. There's a fascination here with piles of rocks. If anyone can tell me what the hell are these blue trees everywhere around Australia? And I thought they were trees for remote communities. But I actually don't know now, and the reason why I'm saying it on the channel right now is because I've got no service, I can't Google anything, and I'll forget this conversation in about 2 hours time. So I'd love to know what the blue trees are all about. Here we go, how appropriate. Boots for the outback. Just got talking to a couple who are heading back to Mandurah, which is south of Perth, and they recognised me from the TV. The fella's wife said, I know your story from somewhere. Bloody flies. She said, you're on the TV the other night. It's a very strange experience to have people recognise you like this. It's bizarre. But at least I'm being recognised for something good. And they said to me, oh, bloody flies. I swallowed a fly when I was talking to them. They said to me that Streaky Bay is about 540 kilometres from here. Now the time is 10:30 in the morning, which is now like 12:30 once I've crossed the border. I don't know what time it is. It's about 12 o'clock South Australian time. I reckon I've still got plenty of daylight, and also actually I'm just realising the further east I go, I'll lose the daylight. I've just worked that out. But I was just explaining to them that I've got no GPS, I've got no Optus service here, but that's kind of part of the adventure, is not knowing exactly how far things and how far you're going to go. It's kind of cool. And they got it, they understood it. The unplanned Indian Crusade. Righto, so I'm at the Nullabor Roadhouse, big truck stop, and I now need to get onto a place called Streaky Bay where I was staying tonight. Now, Ceduna, so Ceduna is 300 kilometres, right? And I know Streaky Bay, is past Ceduna. So, okay, so I need to go from here to Ceduna, and then from there to Streaky Bay. We know that from here to here is 300 k's, so that's 1, 2, roughly 3 hand spans. There's 300 k's, and from Ceduna to Streaky Bay is 1 hand span. So I've got 400 k's to go. How's that sound? That's pretty accurate. I know I can ask around, but that's more accurate, I find, because the last bloke told me that Ceduna was 300 k's from where he was. It's amazing. I've seen bugger all wildlife, plenty of flies, but that doesn't count. So I'm hoping to see some wildlife. I don't want to see it in the middle of the road, but it'd be great to see something. A bit of a distraction from these straight roads. And the sign back there as I was rolling to this roadhouse said that this is the start of the treeless plains. So there's no trees. Surprise, surprise, no trees. So what have I done so far? The Great Ocean Road, Geelong, that's where I'm from. And I went like this. Up here, through the Gold Coast. Right up here to Cairns. Across there, Karumba, down to Mount Isa. Across Barclay Highway, all the potholes were here. Up here, Daly Waters Pub, Catherine, Kakadu, Darwin, back down again, Catherine, across the Kimberley, all the way to Broome, down, shot to the Pilbara, magnificent, back down again, down to Perth, all the way down here, Esperance, and then back to Nullabor. So I've only got this to go. And the adventure doesn't stop there, because when I get here, that's the lap of the country. But then I need to go back this way, Port Augusta, Cooper Pedy, straight up the guts. Oh, no, quick left-hand turn, straight up the guts, back to Catherine. Oh, Catherine, somewhere here, because I've already raised almost $17,500 towards these footy boots for the kids in the outback. So it's been bloody exciting, and as I say, the lap will be done in the next few days, but then phase 2 is to repack and turn around and head back to Catherine. And I'll be doing that during the final series for the AFL, so it'll be a real buzz around football at that time of the year. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. A one-day ride has turned into this. All right, let's get across this Nullabor and check out the Bight. This is something I've been really looking forward to, and see how impressive it is. Wait, there's more. This reminds me of Warrnambool, 12 Apostles. That's better. It's 1 PM West Australian time. I think that makes it 2:30 South Australia and 3 PM Victoria. I don't know. I'm in like dead man's land when it comes to time. But I better get a move on to get to Ceduna and then Streaky Bay. The old pegs are going a little bit numb today. Have to get up and walk it off. It's all these straight long roads and okay, a bit of a reference point. I am 202 k's from Ceduna. There's a sticker on here, it's got a motorbike. It is the Great Australian Ride. TheGreatAustralianRide.com, east to west. So I'll have to check that out. Righto, I'll tell you what, to do a lap of the country and get the weather that I've had, let's call it 90% of it's been magnificent weather. It's a fair effort for winter riding. Because remember, it still is August, isn't it? It's still August, 28th of August. And to think that today, Righto, 22 degrees today. So yesterday was 24, it's 22 today. This Lloyd's tune from Lloyd's Garage over in America. This thing just packs a punch now. I've got it in sport mode permanently. Oh, did I just got swooped by a what are they called? A crow. So I've got it in sport mode permanently at the moment. It's been in sport mode since I left Perth. And yeah, it's funny because back home I never used to ride this in sport mode. I used to ride this in standard mode, but sounds like sport's now the standard. But sport mode with the Lloyd's tune, bang, she goes off. And so what's for those that don't know, what's the tune? The tune's when they, I don't know what they do. They put it on a computer and they muck around with it and they give it more horsepower and give it a nicer note. I don't know. Look, I just like riding the things. And I just noticed the old quarantine station. Quarantine. What a load of shit that was. Try and hear that exhaust. Grass and farmland on the right. It goes miles. Going across Nullabor, there's plenty of fuel, plenty of it. You don't need reserves here. I love these outback roadhouses. They're just they've got so much character. And characters in them. Yeah, you reckon there's enough fuel in this? Righto, that's handy. So I was aware of this, but I just wasn't thinking, and that is that the Telstra phones here, all Telstra phones all over Australia are free. So I have no service. So I've had no service for quite some time. So it's been good just to call through, ring back home, let everyone know I'm alive, but also to be able to call through to my friends in Streaky Bay and let them know where I am. It sounds like I'm about a bit over 300, maybe 350 k's away from Streaky Bay. I'm at, where the hell am I don't know, some roadhouse that starts with N. Alright. So there's not much happening on the Nullabor. Here we go, it's called Nundroo, N-U-N-D-R-O-O, Nundroo Roadhouse. Yeah, there's not much to really see on the Nullabor. There's another hole on the golf course over there. Righto, so here we are, a bit of point of reference. Here we go. Ceduna 151. And then Streaky Bay is about another 120 k's past that. So what's that? 270 k's to go. It is 2:45. I've got my lunch. Oh, that sun's going down, it's cold. Look at the fingers again. It's that right hand. So it's time to put on the, get rid of the summer gloves. Well, the, what would you call them? The in-between gloves, in-between seasons. And back to the winter gloves. Is home to Australia's biggest windmill. Yeah, not bad. Dunno, I was expecting bigger. I was a little bit underwhelmed with that. It was big, but I don't know. I thought it'd be bigger. Quarantine stop. Yeah, I'm just getting crazy messages saying that the weather's looking really bad back home in Geelong. I don't even want to look at the forecast. I'm better off not knowing and just keep going. But tonight I roll into Streaky Bay. This is Ceduna right now, Ceduna. Another 100 k's to Streaky Bay, and have a nice hot shower, and have a nice hot shower and hopefully have a meal. And it's the end of another successful day. Okay, there we go. There's another one of those blue trees I was talking about. I'll have to look it up and find out what that's all about. Streaky Bay. It's bloody freezing, it's 10 degrees and it's cold and it's dangerous, but I'm keeping my wits about me and I'm riding safe and riding at a safe speed as well. Got any hot water? Hang on a second, you're on. I made it, I'm alive. And there's hot water at Streaky Bay. Time for a hot shower.